Hello, Ralph. Anne-Marie from PLP. Hello, hello. I was muted, but I'm unmuted now. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, let's crack on. So, of course, Southampton unbeaten in their last 7 Premier League games. What is underpinning this momentum right now?
Underpinning. What does it mean?
Foundations.
What is the foundation for this? Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we have, I think, in the last weeks, did some good progress in our game, to be honest. It was really good to watch how the guys are playing in the moment. Well, a few really tough games, including against Everton, Villa. They were top of the table at that moment. Also now the Wolves game was quite tough because very good sides, very strong side. And we showed that we can compete with these teams, and this was an important message for us. Still know that it's not getting easier to win games in the future. It's getting more and more difficult because opponents will watch us, will analyze us, will find solutions to play against us. And that means we have to get better. And this is the goal we have every week, doing some new things better and learn to play, in every part of our game the best we can do.
How can Southampton impose their high energy and organised style on Manchester United, who will be looking for their 8th successive away win?
Yeah, you say it, that they are absolutely a good team, and every team that has such quality when they work together, it's always tough to win against such a team. But I think, especially now preparing for every game, is to find solutions also against such opponents, not be scared about their quality, find even then solutions to hurt them, to create a few issues. And if we do it together and if we do it well, this is always possible. And this is what we need before such a game. We need a slightly chance. When we see it, take it and grab it with both hands. And then hopefully, the rest is about investing a lot on the match day.
Final one from me on the flip side. Southampton haven't beaten Manchester United at home since 2003 in any competition. How special would it be for the fans for a Saints home victory finally?
Yeah, I mean, every home win is something special for us. And especially against the top 6, flights are always interesting games. And I think we had not such a bad record the last months against the top 6 teams, and also against Man United. It was not long ago that we could take a point there. So there's always a chance, and I think we need these games. As I always say, against these really, really good teams, to get better, we need these games and to see what works well, what we have to improve, and we like to play these games, definitely.
Thank you very much and best of luck.
Thank you a lot.
Okay, we will try again with Jeremy from Sky.
Hi, Ralph. Can you hear me now?
Gets another chance.
Yeah.
Hi, Ralph. Can you hear me now?
Can hear you now, yes.
Oh, good stuff. Thank God. Ralph, nice to speak to you. Just on the team news for this one, any fresh injury news? How's Theo Walcott's wrist? He's been revealing he's got a broken bone there. And what's the latest on the Danny Ings rehab?
Theo is so far okay, has a little bit pain, but this is not a problem for the weekend, I think. And Danny is, back in individual training on the pitch. So, I think it can be an option for the Brighton game that was moved to Monday now. And that can be an option for us, but this weekend not.
Fantastic news, though, that Ings is ahead of schedule.
If you want, yes. But as we said, it was only a light surgery, and it looks good. Yeah, this is a good thing.
Ralph, this will be the last game at St Mary's without fans. We learnt yesterday that you can have fans back in St Mary's for the Sheffield United game on December the 13th. What's your reaction to that news, and what do you say to clubs like Manchester United, the 10 of them, who still can't have any fans at all right now?
Yeah, I mean, fantastic that we get a chance to bring them back. If it's only 2,000 or 4,000, whatever, it's important to give them a signal. And this is a massive statement, I think. I think it's even possible to bring more in, but in a moment, I'm also happy when there are 2,000, and the more they come, the more we will like to have them back. And I think this is a good thing.
And Ralph, Southampton have been doing so well recently that you've been talked of as a possible United manager. How does that make you sound when you hear that kind of talk?
It's not really something that I listen to. I don't read any social medias or any other news. I find myself sometimes now listen to some radio where they speak about football. It's interesting to hear them talking about it, analyzing our game, but I'm only interested in what happens here in this club in the moment. I have here signed a long-term contract, and this is a long-term project for me, and the way we are improving this club in the moment in every part of this club is something that gives me so much joy every day. So it's so enjoyable to see the development of this club, and I think there's something special growing here in the moment, and that's the reason why I decided to stay here for longer.
Just finally, United, as we were hearing, are going for their 8th straight Premier League away win. How do you stop them?
Like always, against strong sides, only together, only with a very committed performance. I think we are able to show some of these performances, and we need to on the Sunday, because when you see them playing in the Champions League or also in the Premier League, the last time it was definitely good, committed with a lot of quality. The guys in front, they can always hurt you, and we have made the experience in the last game against them. We played a fantastic game, but it was 2 moments where we haven't been really good defending, and immediately you concede goals. So you must be very careful, very concentrated, and on the other side, do what we can also do very good. And I think in the last games we have shown some patterns in our game that were not so often seen before. I think, especially with the ball, we are getting better and better, and this is what you need against such teams. Definitely, also hurt them a little bit with your possession, and this is the goal for the weekend.
Thank you so much. Good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Jeremy. We will go to Adam Blackmore at Radio Solent.
Ralph, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Ralph, Nathan Redmond wasn't in the squad Monday. I believe a small hamstring problem. What's the update on him?
Yeah, definitely still an issue with his hamstring. Not a big one, but will take another maybe 7-8 days. Let's have a look. It was not that worse, this injury, but it is still there, and so we have to pay attention.
Thank you. Just on United's away form, but more specifically, why you think they're good away from home? Is it more to do with the crowds not being there advantageous to a team like United? Or do you think they're set up the way they have their strengths to be good away from home?
Yeah, I think in a moment, the home and away records are not really interested, to be honest. There are normal games in an empty stadium, so you don't have any influences from outside. So it's not a big difference in the moment to play away, or only the traveling maybe, but this is not really a problem today anymore. So I wouldn't take care of too much about it. I think the quality this team has, sometimes I think if they would have more consistent high performances, I think then they would be in the top of the table. They are not in the moment. The reason, therefore, is that they didn't have such a consequent high performance every week, and you never know what you get. On some days they are amazing, and on some days they are struggling. So it's a little bit about how much of an issue we give them with our way we play, and this is the reason why we try always to concentrate on what we are doing. And I think if we do well, if we do every part of the game in a way that we can do, in a nasty way for every opponent, then we have a chance to take something. But you need in such games everything. You need the luck at the right moment. You need a good finish, a clinical finish, don't give too many chances away because they will score otherwise. And yeah, the rest is about fighting for everything.
Just finally from me, I spoke to Jan Bednarek this week. He's quietly gone about having a very consistent season for club and country. And your unbeaten run has been since you've paired him up with Yannick Vestergaard at the back. How important is that partnership becoming, and why is it a good partnership? How do they complement each other?
I mean, Yannick was always with the ball one of our best centre backs because he has a fantastic deep ball in the red zone, and also has the calmness to wait for the right moment to play this pass. I think especially the way he defends was improving and can still get better. We have been always very critical with him, and I think it's the only way to get better. I don't think you are on the end of your development. You maybe just at the beginning, because he's young and he can still learn a lot. And then, yeah, everything is possible. You are playing in the best league in the world. So when you take every weekend to get better, then you know that you have the chance to become a very, very good player. And the same is for Jan Bednarek. When you see his progress with the ball, his development in situations where he's a little bit under pressure, this is amazing for me. This is maybe the biggest development I've seen in the team so far. And we have other players also that they could do a good job in a moment, but the way he played out, I think we were always demanding this. And as I said, we took more risk and gave him a few more options where he can find exits if it doesn't work. So it is completely a better organized centre-back couple now. And this is important because it's the beginning of our building up. It's the beginning of our game in possession, and that's the reason why we need them.
Great. Thank you very much, Ralph. Good luck Sunday.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Adam. We will go to Jim at PA.
Hi, Ralph. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you.
Hi. What do you make of your December schedule? The fixtures have just been announced yesterday. Are you happy enough with the way things have worked out for Southampton?
I mean, I was never mooning about any fixtures. I think we have the difference that we are out in the in the League Cup. We have no international games, so for us it's easier than for the top 6 flights maybe. But I mean, also last season, the time with the fixtures following very, very quickly was the most successful for us. So we are a fit team. We need automatism. The more we have, we don't struggle, or we should hopefully not struggle with a lot of games. We have a good balanced squad, not too big, not too small. When we have some injury problems like we have now with Ings and Reddy, we still are able to perform well. And so for me, the fixtures, I think we are happy because we have what I really sometimes don't understand are the 48 hours between 2 games. This is definitely something. This is for the players also tough. We had it last season also and still performed well, but it's not the best for the quality of the game, to be honest, because the players cannot push like they normally want to. So, but we don't have this over Christmas. We have always 2 days in between the 2 games. So this is okay for me, absolutely, and we take it as it is, never mooning about. I think it's the wrong signal to do it. Jurgen
Klopp said today he felt it was a bit of a waste of time when you managers tried to say anything about the schedule. Would you share that view? Is it just something that with all of the broadcasts, different slots, you just have to part and parcel of being in the Premier League now?
I mean, I cannot speak about Jürgen because he has definitely a completely different schedule than I have. I don't know. I was one time on the same situation when I was a coach at Leipzig, and I can feel that it was really very tough. I made the experience that as soon as you start to talk about in front of your team, you give them something like an alibi that maybe you're once tired. Although I must say that I didn't have the feeling that these teams are ever tired, so they're always energetic, so it couldn't be a problem for him. But this was the experience I made. But as I said, I cannot speak for Jürgen. I understand him completely because the program they have, the schedule they have is massive, and with the playing in the summer, no break in the summer, yeah, it's if you are here on the top of a mountain, the wind is the strongest, and then you have to face it. And we are a little bit further down, so it's a little bit nicer to live there. But maybe you get more often the rain, so it is how it is. Take it.
No outside swimming pools there then. Just finally from me, Ralph, if I may, can you give us a little bit of an insight of what it's like to coach and the mindset and the psychology you tried to get over to the team when you were struggling? Is it and now with the momentum being behind you, is it a different approach, or do you adopt the same for both win or lose? Thank you.
I mean, if you ask me what makes more fun, I cannot even tell you that it's now more fun than if you have a situation where you're struggling. It's more of a challenge then, yeah. In the moment, it's more enjoyable when you win and see them good playing. Sure, it's more fun to see them playing now than losing every week. But you as a manager, you are more necessary for a team when it's not running, when it's not working, because then they look at you much more than you are there to find solutions, to find solving the issues. And this is the different to now. Now they're also looking on you and listen what you're telling them. But we are now speaking about a different level. We are now looking on the small details we can still improve, because the big part of our game is working well in the moment. And this is a different situation. Definitely, yes, and more enjoyable, yes. But I don't think that we, as a manager, you need both, I think, to get better. And yeah, so I cannot say that this job now makes more fun than 2 years ago.
Thank you very much. Good luck on Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we will end that first section there and move on to the section that's embargoed for 10:30 this evening. We will start with someone that's following in Theo Walcott's footsteps and coming home to Southampton for 1 week only. Carl at the Athletic.
Ooh.
Carl.
Hey.
How are you?
Yeah, thank you. Nice to see you.
It's good to see you as well, my friend.
Yeah.
I hope you're doing well.
Thanks. Yes.
I've got no stats for you this time.
This was what I was missing all the time now. Now you come back without stats. It's not possible.
I've got a tactics question for you.
Okay.
So since I last watched Southampton at the end of last season, you've developed a lot more automatisms. Your build-up play. You're a lot more confident in possession. My question for you is, when you are developing these automatisms, do you look for inspiration at other clubs and at other managers, or do you develop it internally yourself?
Good question. I think it's both. What you need and what you have, I think it's important. You see what works with other clubs, yes, definitely, but it's not so easy to copy paste it. So it's not possible. I think you need your own ideas. You need to see what you really need. It's different from every game. Yeah? It depends how you get attacked or where are the spaces you want to use. But some general behaviors, I think, yes, definitely you look on other teams, what can work and what works against such a team, and then you maybe think about copy. But that means you have to look very carefully of everything, and most of the time, we as a manager, we are looking football, so watching football everywhere. And in the moment, it's easy because nearly every evening is a fantastic game. You can take something out of it if you want to. Yeah, this helping us, and I think the players are hungry to get new information, are hungry to learn new things, and I feel that when we make meetings here, that especially when we speak about our possession game, it's more interesting than the work against the ball sometimes, because we are very clear what we have to do there. The possession stuff is something a little bit newer one, and you can see that they really enjoy doing what we're doing in the moment. And yeah, it's also an interesting journey for us. We are never so sure if you always send the right messages. After the game, you see, okay, this was a good one. This was maybe not the best one. Then learn from it and change it slightly, and then hope that it's next time even better.
Yeah. Well, it is fascinating to watch the development. I would wish you good luck, but unfortunately, I'm on the other side now.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, Carl.
Thank you, Carl.
Dan Rose at the Echo. Dan, you there?
Hi, Ralph. Ralph, can you hear us?
Yes.
You mentioned there about obviously the meetings you have with players and learning and working with players. Kyle Walker-Peters hasn't missed a minute for Southampton this season. I mean, just how impressed have you been with his learning process and his development since he's been at the club?
Yes, I mean, it's also maybe if you want a rule bottle for what is possible when you are immediately trying to learn quick and adapt your game to what is necessary if you want to play for Southampton. So I think you see a player now very confident with the ball, but also against the ball with clear habits. I saw in the beginning of the season 2 games that were not so good. I think especially against the ball, he made a few mistakes, but we worked hard with him. We showed him immediately, and he's a quick learner. It's always good, always helpful if you want to get better. I think he really enjoys playing with this team in the moment. We enjoy having him here because he definitely helps us. You see how important the fullback position is in every shape. A lot of possession. You very often are the link from the building up to the 10s to the strikers. So it's important to have a player there that knows what he has to do on the ball, to find the right decisions, keep the ball on the ground, and also against the ball and this is still something he can improve with his quality in the duels, but also this part of his game is getting better. So the package as a complete one is getting better now, yes.
When you work with a player like that, he's only still 23 and you give him that information and that sort of guidance to go on and learn. Just what's it like to work with a player like that, and how good can he be moving forward? Because, I mean, he's still got a lot of time on his side, doesn't he?
We don't know how good we can be. I speak for every player in the team. I don't see the limits for anybody. And if you are constantly getting better, you never know. So there shouldn't be any limits. And if you set your limits, then set it as high as possible, I think, because then you don't block yourself. And so let's have a look. I mean, we brought him here. He's a long-term project for us, and we're happy that he's here. And this is not only for him. Every player who is here, who likes to stay with us, is invited to sign a new contract to extend his time here with us. If he thinks he must go to a bigger club or to more famous one, it's also okay. Then when we get the right transfer fee, then we can handle this also. And then we have a few young lads that are also pushing on the door and they really want to show up. And this is the way we will always go.
Thank you, Ralph. All the best for Sunday.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Dan. We will go to Ben Stanfield.
Good afternoon, Ralph.
Hello.
The team have done a really good job over the last few weeks of dealing with some of the key players on the opposition side, the likes of James Rodriguez, Alan Saint-Maximin. Obviously, on Monday night, it was quite evident that every time Adama Traore got the ball, there was 2 or 3 Saints players around him straight away. Every game that Manchester United have won in the Premier League this season, Bruno Fernandes has scored. Obviously, they're not a one-man team, but how important is it for the side to try and nullify the threat of him at the weekend if we want to win?
Yes, I mean, you're right that we always try to attack with more players because there's so much quality around the Premier League, and even if you do it, you're not safe because you saw Traore was also, against 2 or 3 men, a threat for us. So it's never easy to defend such a quality in the Premier League, but it's the only way to do it for us as a club, as a team. So the more quality they have in the team, the more difficult it gets because we cannot be everywhere with 3 or 4 men at the same time. So, but I think when you are working as a team in our net, then I think it's tough for every opponent to find ways through. But it doesn't mean that we have 90 minutes no chances for the opponent. So this would not happen. When they do it, then we have to defend the box. I think we did it very well against Wolves. Very often, very deep defending. It's also part of the defense work you have to do. And yeah, the more quality, and they have definitely a lot, the more concentrated, the more committed we have to be. But this is the goal for the weekend, and we like these games. As I said, it's always fantastic to watch us when we are good organized, when we are working together, when everybody knows exactly what he has to do. This must give us the advantage against such teams.
You just touched on the Wolves game there. I just wanted to briefly pick up on it. I know you called it an intense game afterwards. I think for many of us connected with Saints that were watching it, it felt intense as well. It was a different type of game to maybe what we faced over the last few weeks. So how much do you think you learned from that and the team learned from that ahead of a run of games now where we're going to play teams that will probably play in a similar style to Wolves?
This is interesting in the Premier League. I think the teams are so different. Also the behaviors are very different because of maybe also the managers coming from different countries, and it's like a bot from everywhere, and so you feel but this makes the job so interesting, to be honest. You can always find a new game plan and create prepare for something new. So but the only thing that is always the same is the quality from the opponents. They have all individual quality, and especially now against this team, this is normally a team that must go for the title here in the Premier League, and for us, I always speak about this 9 out of 10. You don't have a big chance to win, but maybe this is the one game again.
That's great. Thanks, Ralph.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ben. We'll go to Dan Sheldon at The Athletic.
Thank you, Jordan. Good afternoon, Ralph.
Hello, good afternoon.
If I could just go back to one of the questions about the fullbacks. Obviously, you've got Jake Vokins, Jan Valery and Kane Ramsey, all as options. How far away are they from the first team, and what do they need to do to get there?
Yeah, Jack Stephen also played, so you've forgotten him. So he was also our left back because Jake Vokins was injured. Also, like Ryan Bertrand, at the moment we had a chance to give him a chance to play. So you see, chances are coming quicker than you think. You must be available then and fit and hungry to play. And if you are, then the chance will get quicker than you think. You get it.
But just on them as individuals, obviously Jan Valery hasn't played at all, really. Jake Vokins obviously played at the start of the year, hasn't played for the first team since, and then Kane Ramsey obviously appeared in the squad against Newcastle, I think it was. But hasn't. So if you look at them individually, what do they need to do? What aren't they doing?
Yeah, I mean, when you watch now our fullbacks playing, then you know what you have to do. I mean, in possession, very calm, keep the ball, don't give it away so easily. No mistakes. Also, when you have the ball, speed up the game with good deep runs, with supporting the 10, supporting the strikers, entering the box. Maybe you can also be more often in the position that you can score yourself. And against the ball, good sliding, good working, good defending, aggressive against the man, blocking crosses. We can make the list long. You can speak 1 hour about it, what they all have to do. But I think it's not the right moment to do it, I think. But they know what they have to do, and they know what they have to show. And I'm a manager who looks or tries to look all the time how they develop. So
they're not developing enough at the moment.
Or let me say that the others are in a moment too good to replace them. So this is also, it's not always that he is so bad. We have on the sixth position the same issue. We have with Ibra, a player who is fantastic. When you see him training in the moment during the week, he's a fantastic player and he's waiting for the chance. But Ori and Prowse do a fantastic job in the moment. They are really good. But it's important for us to get better if you have also the quality in the sessions, and this is how it should be normally. Yeah?
That's great. Good luck for the weekend. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Dan. We'll go to Tom at the Sun.
Hi, Ralph. I'm guessing I'm on next. Yeah, okay, good. Man United, arguably the biggest club in the world. They lose one game, they lose 2 games. It's a disaster. The manager comes in for criticism from everywhere. It's just the nature of that club. But, as has been mentioned, if they win against you guys, that's 8 in a row away from home. And playing against your old team, Leipzig, I imagine you took that game in with some interest and they absolutely wiped the floor with them. Do you think Ollie's getting enough credit for what he's doing at Man United?
I don't know how much credit or how less he gets, to be honest, and therefore I must follow the news more, but I don't do it. So it's normal. They are in a moment on position. What in the table? I don't know it.
10th.
Huh? 10? Yeah.
They're 10th, but they've got a game in hand, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So there's always a problem. Maybe you are on 10th position in the table, one game in hand, and this is a problem also for a few other teams. They have one game in hand, and to compare it with others is difficult. So people see, okay, 10th in the table, not on the top of the table, so didn't do a good job. But it's not so easy to see when you look at it a bit deeper, and you see them playing. And I have seen some tactical, very, very good games, to be honest. Very, very good organized. And yeah, but as I said, sometimes not consistent enough in some games, and there are defeats against Tottenham at home where you have a very bad day. And when you do this as a Manchester United Football Club, yeah, it's normally that you get criticism and yeah. But yeah, this is the job you have to do there. I know this situation, how it is when wins are normal and draws are disaster. I know the situation. It was nearly the same in Leipzig, and you handle this. I'm sure he does it well, and he's I think more robust than people outside think he is.
You were asked earlier about suggestion of Manchester United. I'm sure Southampton fans will be very happy to hear how committed you are to the club. Obviously, you signed a new contract, which shows that anyway. But given your talent and the fact that you've managed in the Champions League before and managed a club where you're expected to win, do you aspire one day to manage a club of the level of Man United?
Of the club of Man United, not, but maybe of a Champions League club and or EuroLeague club. So, but it doesn't mean that you cannot manage this club and go there. I don't know. I have big targets with this club here, and yes, I mean, to speak about the international spots in the Premier League, it's normally not really helpful, because when you see the names you are competing with, I don't have to tell you, there are six spots normally fixed for the top 6, and then you can fight for the 7th one. Yeah, but there are also some good clubs around there, so it's not really a target you can seriously take. But yeah, you never know. When you do a good job, and in the moment we have a good average of points, we have nearly 2.0 point average. So this is definitely an average of points you can reach international spots. And yeah, this is our goal is to keep this average of points as high as possible.
Thanks, Ralph.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Tom Leach at Hampshire Live.
Hello, Ralph. You okay?
I'm okay, thank you.
Hello. Can I ask you about Che Adams? Got a lot of praise on Monday night. Obviously, he's become a really important player for you. His creativity as well has been key to that. He got the assist at Wolves, and then he played a killer pass to Theo late on for that one-on-one chance that he had. Were those passing talents always there? Because before he came to Southampton, we knew Che as a goal scorer at Birmingham. Were they always there, those passing talents, or did you have to do certain things to maybe draw those out of him over the time that you worked with him?
I mean, I can see that on this part of his game is definitely getting better now. I mean, the way we play with all the rondos, with all the small-sided games we have, with all the drills we make for getting quicker decision making. It's more about decision making. I think the technique nearly every player has, but it's more about of the decision making. And this is in some sessions. Sometimes you have less time than in the games on the weekend, and that helps you maybe on the weekend to find a better solution, better decision. And yeah, you can see that he's getting better in this part of the game, but still, I think can improve. And the good thing is, and it's good, and he gets some praise now for what he did so far, is that he never stops learning and never stops working hard. And this is the fundament from every player to get better. If you think you're still on an unbelievable high level and you cannot learn anything anymore, then you will not be better. You will not get better anymore.
How close did you work with him on those? Because do you show him videos of other strikers doing similar things? The reason I ask is because he came quite deep for it, turned on it, and then found the run of Theo over the top, which is something that we've seen Harry Kane do every week so far. Is that the kind of player that he looks at? Do you show him videos of other strikers?
No, we don't show special videos from strikers. We show scenes from other games where you see how they score and runs or positions you have to be in as a striker. Yes, that's right. We know where we attack. We know how we attack. We know how we want to bring the players in the right position, and this we definitely show them. But it's not about that I say, look what he does, look what he does. No, it's you cannot compare one striker to another. There are different types. Harry Kane is a different type to a Heung-min Son or whoever. Yeah? So they're all different, but you must find his qualities and try to use them the best. And in the moment, he's the only striker because Ings is out, and we play with Theo a little bit deeper or around him. It's more like a 10, but it works, and this is the good thing.
Can I just squeeze one more quick one in as well then, please, on something you just said a minute ago about the players who are maybe their contracts are running out quite soon. You made an interesting comment in the week saying that the train is leaving. What exactly did you mean by that? And is there any progress on those players whose contracts are soon coming to an end?
No, but I mean, every player who wants to extend the contract and we want to extend, we show them that we want them. We show them that we really want them to be here. But we also show them that we have our limits, and I think this is very healthy for the club. And whatever they are asking for, it's okay. They can ask for everything, but if we are not the club that can offer them this, then they must go somewhere else. That's very easy, I think, and for us a very, very clear way. We have our clear limits. We are going and we are following this. Who wants to be part of this? He's invited to do it. If not, then he must go somewhere else.
Cheers, Ralph. Cheers, Jordan. Good luck for Sunday.
To Matt Dunn.
Hi, Ralph. Yeah, you spoke earlier about knowing what it is to have to win every game. When it doesn't go well for you in that situation, what was it that you used to do to sort of deal with it and process it? Did you hammer away at the piano, go cycling, climb a mountain? I mean, what is it that relieves the pressure for you?
Climbing a mountain at the moment is a little bit difficult. So.
Oh yeah, lockdown doesn't really help that, does it?
Yeah, and here there are not so many high mountains around here, Southampton, so it can get difficult. Riding the bike is a little bit dark in the moment, and when I come out here, it's no light anymore, so it's too dangerous for me. I go for a run with my wife in the evening. This is good. That helps me. And when it's not too late, I play the piano, yes, because I must pay attention to the neighbors, you know. So I cannot do it too long in the evening.
What sort of music do you play? Does it depend on the result?
Depends on the result and on the atmosphere I have, yeah.
Go, give us some examples. What would you play? What will you play if you beat United on
some melancholic songs are in the moment a little bit away. So the more funny ones in the moment.
Brilliant. Well, that's good. And generally, do managers have a sense of solidarity? You talked about, speculation linking you with the Manchester United job, and managers are under pressure. You were under pressure only a year ago. Do managers feel solidarity for each other? Can you look each other in the eye, or do you just all know that that's part and parcel of the job and get on with it?
It's interesting. I had today a conversation with a former assistant coach from my side. He was sacked in Würzburg in Germany and now got a new job in Sandhausen. And we were speaking about it and writing each other. And sure, you feel with them and give some advices. I have not so much experience with getting sacked as a manager. I had it once in my entire management. It was in the beginning, and the rest I always stopped the contract and left. So, but it was an important experience for me, yes, also. And sure, you think a little bit about it, but what I must say is that I have the feeling that the general position of a manager here in England is a stronger one, and you get more credit and longer time to work on it. It's not about looking for the last 2 or 3 or 4 games, and this is a tendency that is coming more and more in Germany, and this was what I definitely hated. The times even getting shorter, where you have to show up, where you have to bring results. I don't misunderstand me. I always say that the short-term success is very important to have arguments, But if you want to have a long-term picture for a club, you must be sure immediately if this is the manager you can go for this or not. And if you have this feeling, then you should stick to it as long as possible. And this is not so easy today, but I have the feeling that in England it's quite more patience with the managers than in Germany.
So as member of the Managers Union, do you applaud clubs like United for sticking to their guns?
Yeah, I mean, we never know the whole picture. We are not inside. We don't see how he works. We don't see what things he progresses in the club. And that's the reason why it is so difficult to analyze it from outside and only to go for the results. Yes, we can do it, but I'm sure they have a bigger picture than we have, and then let them do their job. And in the end, they have to be responsible for this. You don't have to forget, if you sack a manager, you are responsible that it's getting better with the new one, and they have no guarantee that it is. So I think they know what they have to do, and wish them all the best.
Okay, we'll go to Harry Pratt.
Afternoon, Ralph.
Hello.
Hiya, Ralph. In this COVID ravaged season or whatever this year, the medical departments, which I know are always very important at every club, one would imagine they could be even more significant this season in the way looking after players' welfare. I mean, could they be the difference between success and failure this season for clubs?
Yeah, not only this season, they are very often decisive for being successful or not. I mean, if you have a feeling how much we do around the players to let them be fit and stay healthy, you cannot believe it, because all the day they are doing everything for working on their fitness and on their healthiness. And I think especially now in this special time, even more, they are taking care about everything, about the distance, about how we sit, how we travel, how we sleep in the hotels, everything. So it's a massive job, and really big thank you so far, because so far we have come very good through this pandemic as a team, and hopefully it stays like this.
I mean, you've obviously explained some of the differences maybe this year. And when they're monitoring, I mean, do you, before games, look at stats of the players, where they're at? As a manager, I'm talking about, do you sit down with your medical team and go through it before games? And how does the information get fed to you during matches? Because they've obviously, everyone's monitoring every step a player takes, aren't they?
Yeah, but we're not so far that we know during a game how much a sprint he has, how much high-speed runnings he had, or something like that. That you can. We are not so far in. I think it will come once a day that we have during the game all the stats we need to have to know, is he still able to sprint, or do we have to sub him? But yeah, you only get this stats after the game. But yeah, I mean, for us, stats are the one part. The other part is what you see, and I think the feedback of the player is not always the most honest one. So
I'm going to ask you, yeah, is it down to the players this season?
Because
more than ever?
you cannot. Sometimes you have protect them from this, because you have so many players that will never go off the pitch because they feel I cannot let the team alone here. I must help them, and this is very honorable, but not really helpful all the time. So we must protect them from themselves, and this is what we do sometimes.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody.